Good morning, students. Yesterday class you are already discussing about the last class, peripheral nervous system. What are the spinal nerves, cranial nerves? That is related to the peripheral nervous system. According to in our textbook, they are given the last class means it related to the NEET topic, related to the NEET. Sometimes they will ask related to the, but in our NCERT textbook they are not given that content, but it is useful for the NEET. Okay, today we are going to discussing about. Today we are going to talk something about reflex arc. What is the name? Today we are going to discussing about the reflex arc. What is the arc? Reflex arc. Reflex arc. Reflex arc or reflex arc. Today we are going to discussing about the reflex arc. We have many experienced. Once you are touch any hot object, or cold object or sharp object, you are withdraw away from the hot object, you are withdraw away from the cold object, you are escape from the, once you are observe any poisonous snake, any poisonous or mad dog, you are escape from that particular organism. You are many experienced. Once you touch any hot object, any hot object means you are away from that hot object. This we are respond in our body. You can serve, for example, in front of you. In front of any poisonous snake is there. We are not escape from that particular poisonous snake means you cannot survive on the particular. For example, in front of any mad dog, the mentally retarded dog, it is present. Once you stay in front of the mad dog means it is take one piece of in your leg, one piece of in your life. Once you are escape from that particular organism means you can survive. You are escape from the particular poisonous snake means you can survive. You are touch any hot object means your place continuously with the hot object means the entire muscle is damaged. You are many experienced. This you are away from that particular hot object or cold object or temperature or poisonous snake, any sharp objects. In our body is respond. It is the reflex arc means it is a positive response. It is the survive on the nature. The nature consists of different types of stimulus. Stimulus means that is a reagents. Reagents means temperature, cold, pH, poisonous snakes, any toxic material. You can escape from the particular things because of the peripheral nervous system. The reflex arc means it is the positive response pathway. This is the pathway, the information. This is the pathway. The information pass from the information travel from the receptor to that is the effector. The reflex arc. They are given one example for the reflex arc. That is the example in our textbook. According to our textbook, they are given reflex arc, knee-jerk reflex. What is a reflex? Knee-jerk reflex. What is a reflex? Knee-jerk reflex. Knee-jerk reflex. If you observe the knee-jerk reflex, the reflex arc example, knee-jerk reflex. If you observe the knee-jerk reflex, if you observe the first one, it is the Okay, it is the reflex arc. This is the pathway the impulse travel from the, this is the pathway the impulse travel from the receptor to effector. The impulse travel from the receptor to effector. The receptors are present in the muscle. The receptor can stop muscles. Once you can apply any object, any streamer on the this bones. You can apply for this one. Once you can apply for any streamer, any object, any stimuli, the information pass. This pain pass into the muscles. These muscles can stop. Receptor. This receptor, they will send message to the efferent neurons. The efferent neuron means sensory neurons. They receive the information from the receptor. They will send the efferent neuron. They will send into the through the dorsal ganglia. Through the dorsal ganglia. They will send into the spinal cord. The spinal cord. After the spinal cord, they will send into the this. After they will send into the efferent neurons. They will send message to the this mixed neurons are interneurons. What is the neurons? Interneurons. They will analyze the pain. Okay. After that, they will send message to the motor neurons. They will send to the motor neurons. The neurons, they will send message. After the motor neurons, they will send into the muscles. Once the muscles spindle fiber, the effector, they receive the information from the efferent neurons, means motor neuron, they will send message to the spinal cord, to the sensory organs. Once the muscles they can receive the message, means they will respond. The muscles are respond. This, it is a one series of the pathway. It is like a manner. There exists in the one series. It is exist in the like a pathway. See here. Once you can apply for the any object here. For example, you can, for example, it is a finger. You can apply to the, you can touch to the any hot object or any cold object. It is a hot object. It is a cold object. You can touch it. You can means you can withdraw from that particular object. The main reason is the sensory information. See here, it can stop receptors. The information pass into the spinal cord. After they will send into the interneurons. Interneurons, they will send into the motor neurons. The first they will send into the receptor. What is the next one? Efferent neurons. Okay, efferent neurons. After the next one, interneurons. After the next one, motor neurons. For the neurons, after the next one, it is the effector. This is the pathway the impulse travel from the receptor to effector is known as a reflex arc. You can respond any object. You can respond any nature because of this entire reflex arc is controlled by the maximum. This reflex actions are controlled or mediated by the spinal cord. This reflex actions. Reflex means how do you respond? That is a reflex arc. Reflex arc means this is the pathway. The pathway means the information, the impulse travel. From the receptor to effector. The impulse travel from the receptor to effector. Okay, the reflex archway pathway. It is indicate one series manner. The reflex arc pathway. Is always indicate series manner. One series manner. What is the first one? Is the stimulus. Stimulus. It is the any object that is a stimulus. For example, heart. It is a one stimulus. For example, cold stimulus. Temperature stimulus. For example, outside temperature is more. In our skin consists of thermoreceptor cells. Once the outside temperature is more, this thermoreceptor, skin receptor cells, they receive. They will send message to the through the sensory neurons. Through the efferent neuron, they will send into the spinal cord. with the help of mediated with the spinal cord. After they will send into the interneurons, after they will send into the efferent neuron, after they will send into the again skin, means the sensory organs. You can respond outside the temperature. You can respond outside the temperature. Okay, what is the path of the reflex arc? Stimulus. Stimulus to the next one, receptor. This is the next one, receptor. After the receptor, the information passes into the efferent neurons. Efferent neurons. Efferent neurons. After the efferent neurons, they will pass into the, it is the interneurons. They present in the spinal cord. Interneurons. They will analyze the whether it is penis mode or temperature or any pH. After the interneurons, they will send message to the efferent neurons. Efferent neurons. Efferent neuron means motor neurons. Motor neurons to effector. Effector. Motor neurons to efferent. Efferent means sensory. Efferent means sensory neurons. You can respond. Reflex arc means how this reflex arc is regulated. These reflex actions are regulated by the reflex actions. The reflex actions, it is the pathway, it is a series of the path. The reflex arc means you can respond to nature. You can respond to the nature. Once you are not respond means you cannot survive. You can survive on the nature. We can respond. Because of this reflex arcs is controlled by the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. The reflex actions are controlled by the peripheral nervous system. These are the unconditional reflex. Two types of the actions. Okay, conditional reflex, unconditional reflex. Unconditional reflex means sneezing, coughing, and vomiting, knee jerk. These are the unconditional reflex. Conditional reflex means typing, writing, your musical instruments, learning to the something. That is known as a condition. Based on the condition, based on the experience, based on the experience, you can learn. That is a conditional reflex. That is a separate. Maximum, the reflex actions are mediated by the maximum reflex actions are mediated by the reflex actions are mediated by the reflex actions are mediated by the spinal cord. Spinal cord. The reflex actions are maximum. The reflex actions are mediated by the spinal cord. What is the pathway of the reflex actions? Reflex actions. It is the pathway, the impulse travel from the receptor to effector. Once you can apply any object to on the ear. Yeah? This bone. That's a small bone. You can apply that object. The receptors are present. This receptor they will send into the efferent neurons. Efferent means sensory neurons. The sensory neurons, they receive the information from the receptor cells. After the efferent neuron, they will send message to the sensory organs to spinal cord. The spinal cord is consist of, it is the interneurons. The spinal cord consists of these interneurons. These interneurons, they will analyze. After then, a particular area, the pain is happening. The particular area, the more pain means, again, the information passes into the motor neurons. They are original from the spinal cord. They are original from the spinal cord as well as central nervous system. These neurons, they will send message to the spinal cord through with the help of efferent neurons, means motor neurons. Motor neurons, they will send into the muscle. Spinal means effector. They will respond. Once you can apply to any object, they will respond. How they will respond on the object? How they respond on the body? Means knee jerk. Knee jerk. What is the path of the knee jerk? What is the stimulus? Stimulus means, what is the stimulus example? Stimulus means temperature, cold, hot, more hot, and also poisonous. These are the stimulus. Okay, next one. They will send message to the impulse pass from the stimulus to receptor. Receptor to efferent neuron. Efferent neuron to interneuron to efferent neuron. Efferent neuron to effector. Effector. It is the particular path. If you observe the spinal cord, the transverse section of the spinal cord, for example, it is a spinal cord. The transverse section of the spinal cord. The shape of the spinal cord, H shape or butterfly shape. H shape or butterfly shape. H shape or butterfly shape. What is the shape of the spinal cord? If you transfer section of the spinal cord, what is this transfer section of the spinal cord? It is the H shape or butterfly shape. Outside, white matter. Inside, gray matter. The spinal cord consists of outside, white matter. Inside, it is consists of gray matter. It is opposite to the central nervous, that is the brain. Brain outside, gray matter. Inside, white matter. But here, it is opposite. Spinal cord, outside white matter, inside gray matter. Okay, it is consists of dorsal root. It is a dorsal root. It is a ventral root. It is a dorsal root. It is a ventral root. Ventral root. Ventral root. It is the dorsal root. Dorsal. It is the ventral root. Ventral root. This is the dorsal root, back side of the spinal cord. It is the ventral, the front side of the spinal cord. Front side of the spinal cord. Okay, if you observe the transfer section of the spinal cord, it is a H-shaped or butterfly shape. It consists of interneurons and interneuron. It means motor neurons as well as sensory neurons. They will send message sensory neurons to efferent neurons. Efferent neurons to they will send into the efferent neurons. They will connect it. They will connect it. It is the best example for the reflex arc. Reflex arc is related to the peripheral nervous system. Reflex arc means it is the unconditional reflex. Once you touch any hot object or cold object, you can respond. How the neural system is regulated with the help of peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system means the spinal nerves and cranial nerves. They will respond. Thank you very much.